Hi, I'm AJ, and I look trustworthy, don't I? Which actually leads directly into our first story of the day. I'm going to dive right into it. I'm going to go real fast, which is a survey, well, more of a research paper taken in Britain, detailing the fact that people with brown eyes are actually seen as more trustworthy than those with blue eyes. Now, it's not quite what it seems at first. When they first did this study, I'm like, well, what does color of the eyes have to do with trustworthiness? Are people really being that genetic, whatever? They looked deeper into it, changed the colors of pictures of people with, blue eyes to brown, and people didn't find them any more trustworthy. Changed the brown eyes to blue and still found them trustworthy. So they figured out it actually turns out people with, brown eyes have facial features that are more trustworthy than those with blue eyes. It's more of a whole face thing and not just an eye color thing, which makes me really glad because my eyes really aren't actually brown, but you can only tell that if you get really close, and I'm not going to get that close to the camera. And we're going to stay in Britain for a little bit to cover our next story, which is that 7 prisons are going to be closed in England here pretty soon, like within the next couple months or so. And now it's coming out that you might think, okay, Britain is low on crime, that kind of stuff. They've outlawed guns a long time ago. They're doing great. No, actually, they're closing the 7 prisons because they're going to open what they're calling a super prison, which is 25% bigger than the biggest prison they currently have. They're still figuring out a place for this. So I don't know how the transition is going to go. I mean, come on, they're going to be closing down 7 jails, prisons, and putting them all into one big super prison. I really don't know how good of an idea this is, but on paper and money-wise, it looks good, so they're going to go forward with it. I'm not going to make that Cartoon Network reference. And for the next bit, we're going to flip back over to California, here back in the good US of A, where such wonderful things happen. I mean, great things have come out of California, like, Hollywood, right? And stars and tabloids and drugs and alligators guarding said drugs. What? This is actually a thing. There's a recent sting marijuana thing. So people who are for legalizing pot can once again say, "Hey, this wouldn't happen if it was legal." Either way, cops went in, found the drugs, and before they found the drugs, they found an alligator guarding said drugs. Now I don't know how the people who owned the marijuana was planning on getting said. Maybe they had a thing with the alligator. Maybe they, I don't know what happened. Either way, the reptile has been taken and donated to a local zoo, so it's fine. Marijuana got taken, and really, what were they thinking getting an alligator to guard this stuff? Is it really that good? Better be some high quality stuff anyway. And now we're going to jump over to the Ukraine, specifically an area known as the Crimea, an artesian settlement, where a massive discovery has been found that is, well, a bunch of treasure. This is the best thing that really an archaeologist can find, because not only did they find over 200 bronze coins and various items of gold, silver, and bronze jewelry and glass vessels, but which will give them a lot of exposure and money, that kind of stuff, but also has a lot of history in it. There was a lot of really good information because this place was surrounded and sacked by the Romans. These people, what they were showing me this is in their last few days, what they were doing, these were literally funeral rites that they were doing, giving in this golden jewelry because they knew they were going to die. They had given up seeing the Romans coming. And it's just a massive piece of history that has just been added in, and this is cool. You think 200 coins might not be that big, but population wasn't that big back then. Unlike nowadays, we just reached 7 billion. People are freaking out. The world's going to collapse under the weight of humanity. We're not going to all be able to survive. We're looking at this, we're just going to get 20 billion by whatever time. Actually, recent research has come out and said, not so much. In fact, we reached 6 billion faster than we reached 7 billion. That number is slowing down. That growth rate is slowing down. And in fact, they're expecting it to reverse by the time it reaches 9 billion in a few decades. And you think 9 billion, okay, that's pretty bad. Actually, this is a couple billion more than we currently have. Not really going to strain the supplies any more than we already are. I mean, come on, we're wasting about half the food that we produce anyway. And they're actually expecting that to start reversing because of how much the population declined. Now, if you're in the U.S., you don't really see that. I'm like, you're like, everybody's having kids. Well, it turns out the U.S. is actually pretty unique in that fact. Everybody else, their population is starting to decline, or at least, showing the signs of that. So Really, overpopulation, not a problem. Of course, underpopulation and too many senior citizens, that can be a problem on the economy. And for our last story, we're going to jump into space because I'm AJ and that's what I do. Specifically, all the exoplanets that we've been finding lately, the super Earths and all that, I've been getting all excited, 2.7 times Earth. Well, they've recently found one that is blowing my mind. It is just crazy because, well, it's 1.5 times the size of Earth, which means basically 1.2 times Earth gravity. Nothing. I mean, you get that by standing up too fast. And it's circling a sun that is only slightly cooler than ours. So, actually probably going to live longer than our sun. And the planet is in the habitable zone. We only need one more piece. If this thing has water, pretty much guaranteed it has life or can support life. And it's pretty dang close, too. It's within like 20 light years. So within the next, century, we could get there. I mean, this could be it. And the name of it is down in the thing below. Is some weird science name. We got to give it a better name than it currently has because it's really not that great. But, I mean, literally, there is another Earth out there within our distance. I mean, and if that exists, think of how many other possible ones could be in our galaxy. Whoa! Anyway, that is it for Extraordinary Times for today. And for the week, this is it for the week. If you liked it, like down there, favorite, subscribe, that kind of stuff. If you really liked it, share us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, that kind of stuff. That's how we get out there and get this message out to people of all the things that are happening. It's just amazing. I mean, come on, another Earth? Crazy. Anyway, and always,
be well.
Can't even talk today, jeez. My voice coughed out.